Hi Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name is Carol and this is going to be a general reading for you. And it's also doesn't have a date on it because I trust that when it comes into your feed, it's meant for you. And so today's reading, we're going to be doing how to get more love. And I'm going to be using the Curious Travels deck. And I'll also be using the Radiant Rider-Waite to clarify. And I've pre-shuffled my cards before I came on. So we're going to be looking at, first of all, what blind spot do you have around love? And so that could be anything like a pattern that you have that shows up around love. Sometimes we tend to attract the wrong people in our life and we can't understand why. And this is, all across the board. So it could be like people at work. It could be friends. It could be intimate partners where, like I said, you might attract different friends and yet you're getting the same results all the time. Maybe you're not getting the emotional support that you want, the physical support that you want. Whatever it is, I'm going to find out what the blind spot is, what the pattern is maybe that's behind this. And then I want to look at, I'm going to take a little bit of a deep dive into your unconscious, and I want to find out what's stopping you from getting the love that you want. So what is it that's impacting or driving this blind spot? And so we're going to do a little bit of shadow work in that second part. And then we're going to look at, finally, I'm going to ask the tarot for some guidance as to how you can begin to shift or heal your response to this pattern around love. And so let's start off by asking the tarot, what blind spot does Virgo have around love? And I'm going to ask for one card, please. One card for Virgo, and you got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now let's look at your what's stopping you from getting the love that you want. So what is it that's impacting this or driving this from your unconscious? And that one definitely wanted to come out. So another queen. And so this time it's the Queen of Swords in reverse that's sitting here. It's interesting, two queens. And then what's some advice from the tarot? Some advice from the tarot as how you can begin to shift this. Advice for Virgo. One card. Finally, Six of Cups. And let's get some clarifiers for these. Can I have a couple cards for the Queen of Pentacles? That one wanted to come out. And here's the other one. Okay, so you have the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords in reverse. Both cards in reverse. That will clarify your Queen of Pentacles. And this Queen of Swords, can I have a couple cards to clarify that, please? You have the King of Swords and the High Priestess in reverse. And finally, the Six of Cups. Couple cards to clarify my Six of Cups. Okay, Five of Swords kind of came out sideways, and the King of Cups. Okay, so let's start off with what blind spot does Virgo have around love? You have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles is the feminine part to us. It's the feminine energy. Now, we all have a feminine side and a masculine side. It has nothing to do with our gender. And the feminine side is the one that has been repressed over the years, and the qualities that they have. And this one in particular is the Queen of Pentacles. And look at how her pentacle shines from, almost like from her heart. She has it sitting in front of her. It's something that she cherishes. The pentacle suit represents the earth element. I was like, helmet? Why did I say that? Sometimes I combine words, but anyway. The pentacle suit represents the earth element. And the Queen of Pentacles is very, very grounded. And she's someone that lives from her heart. She lives from her emotions. And so this is like this, she comes out when we need to recognize that we need to be grounded. We need to get grounded. And that means we need to get into our body. Most of us live from our masculine side, which is our ego self, because the ego is petrified of emotions and it doesn't want us to get into our body. There's a real resistance here. I can see that of you getting into your body here because she's in reverse. And oftentimes when this part wants to come out in us, this queen, the feminine side of us, it's been wanting to, like there's been this pull for you to get back in your body and start to feel. There can be a real hopelessness. We can feel the hopelessness because, you know, they've been fighting for a long time. It's like someone's tugging at you going, listen, you need to get in your body. And I know that because the next card that comes out is this Three of Swords. Three of Swords piercing your heart. And you know, the sword energy is about, the sword is your mental thoughts, you know, these things that you tell yourself in your head. And it's in reverse here because you're not wanting to look at this pain. Three of Swords is all about our pain, all those things that we can hear in our head that we tell ourselves, but you're sitting in a lot of pain. And this is why this card's coming out saying, listen, there's some real healing that needs to be done around your past relationships, around, you know, people that your caretakers when you were younger. We'll find out more when we get into your unconscious, but there's some real healing that needs to take place here. And the Four of Swords comes in next, another sword card. And so I can see here that you're very much spinning in your head. You tell yourself things. This Four of Swords comes in when it's like, okay, it's time to get still, which is another feminine quality that we all need to, you know, grasp onto, because we need to spend some time alone, feeling what this deep pain is that you need to heal right here. But it's in reverse. And so that tells me that you're not willing to spend time alone. And a lot of us aren't. A lot of us can really spend time, you know, making ourselves really busy, staying around people. Some of us have to always be around people. Well, that really prevents us from getting quiet, from really getting in touch with what's this pain right here. So there's some real pain that you need to heal around relationships. And let's go look now at what's stopping you from getting the love that you want. So what's in your shadow? What's in your unconscious? These are all the things that you've buried from your childhood, from your adolescence. And this is where all the healing needs to take place, because this is what's driving what's happening right now in your own world. So this is your inner world right here that we're going to go and look at, right? And so you have the Queen of Swords. And so here's another feminine quality that's sitting here right in your shadow that's buried. The Queen of Swords has a sword in her hand. And the sword is the sword of authenticity, of our truth, of knowing, that knowing who we are, knowing what our worth is. It's a sort of authenticity. And so she's in reverse here, because I think at one point in time when you were younger, you questioned who you were. And that whole idea of being able to be authentic wasn't probably available to you. Maybe emotions, I want to say. Maybe you weren't allowed to feel your emotions. When we aren't allowed to feel our emotions when we're younger, we get a sense that we don't matter. And that's where that authenticity comes in, where it's like, well, I don't even know who I am. If I can't feel my own emotions, then I can't be me. And I can see that what happened was, because the King of Swords sits right behind this Queen of Swords. So here's the queen that wants to be authentic, that wants to be able to feel her emotions. And this king's coming in and telling you when you were younger, emotions are very dangerous. And so maybe as a young child, you learned that emotions were very dangerous. And this king would come in, which is your ego self, and it took over. Because as a young child, we can't process big emotions that come into our life. We can't process big hurt, because when we're told you can't feel certain emotions, that hurts a lot. And so as a child, you won't be able to feel that. And so this king comes in and says, you know what? It's okay. Put on these masks and pretend to be someone else now, because the person that you thought you were, well, you're not allowed to be that person, right? And so you were taught at a very young age to put some masks on, to, not express those emotions. I don't think you were given that opportunity. And then the High Priestess card comes out in reverse here, and she's a Major Arcana card. She is the first half of the feminine archetype, or the feminine energy in the Major Arcana, and the second one is the Empress, which is number 3. The High Priestess talks about inner knowing, this deep, deep inner knowing, which is a beautiful feminine quality that we all have. It's called our intuition, and our intuition is our inner knowing. Here's the thing about intuition. We can't reach our own intuition. We can't access it unless we are in our body. And it's blocked right now for you. It's sitting in your shadow. Your intuition is buried in your unconscious. That deep, deep inner knowing of yours. That deep inner knowing of who you really are. And so I'm hearing that here. And so when it's coming time here for you, this calling of you to get in touch with this pain right now and to get still and to get back in your body, there's this huge fear on your part to do this, because when you were younger, you tried to do that and you were shut down and you were told, don't touch those emotions. Go into your head, and those emotions are dangerous. But you've got this beautiful intuition of this inner knowing of who you are, that when you get back in your body and you start to feel some of these emotions, this pain right here that you're feeling around relationships, that's going to change so much for you. And so how can you begin to shift this pattern? What's the advice from the tarot right now? Well, you have your 6 of Cups card that comes up, which, beautiful card here. It's a card about, 6s in my deck talk about this beautiful giving and this receiving. I love how this card has this one child, putting some flowers in the hair of another child. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful scene. And this card is an inner child card to me. It has this duality of giving and receiving. And what the universe is asking you, it's kind of saying, you know what? It's time now that you spend some time with listening and understanding and getting in touch with some of your inner children. And we can have more than one inner child that hold your pain, that hold these big emotions. Our inner children hold these big emotions for us when we were younger. We couldn't do it, so they held it for us. There's some inner children that need healing and they want to get in touch with you. And that's that whole idea of giving and receiving, right? So they give to you and we receive, but we have to be open to them. And that's why you're being called to go inwards here. The 5 of Swords comes out, and it was kind of a card sideways here. And in an upright position, the 5 of Swords talks about this individual that has just won this battle. He's got this grimace on his face. I mean, take a look at those clouds at the top, how jagged they are. It's like something really, it's like I often refer to this card as a bullying card, right? You know that there's something nasty that's gone on. It's just like, but I always look at the individual way at the back, and he's the victim. He's the victim here. And you're the victim. You're the victim. and your inner child was the victim, not allowed to feel, holding these big emotions for you. And this is, it's this represents a shame card. It represents the shame that we all have that was given to us. It wasn't something we were born with. It represents our unworthiness. And so I'm seeing here that there's a part of you that needs to look at their unworthiness. And I talked about your emotions not mattering and feeling like you don't matter. And so you're bringing all of that pain of not mattering. And we talk about the giving and the receiving and the duality, right? And that's what you're bringing into all of your relationships. You're walking into every single, and you have to understand that we have energy and people read our energy without even knowing it. And so when you walk into if you walk into every relationship, every person that you meet, and you're bringing unconsciously, this feeling of I don't matter to the table, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get all these people that are going to reflect that back to you. And that's how the universe works. In friends, colleagues at work, intimate partners, they're all going to reflect that back to you. They're going to say, listen, it's like a mirror, right? And they're going to say, okay, I can feel your energy, and I'm going to show you that you don't matter, because the universe is trying to say to us, listen, this is what needs healing. All these people that are reflecting, you don't matter back to you. And that's what you need to work on and heal. And so, but you've got this ego, again, this ego side, this ego self, the King of Cups. This time you have the King of Swords over here in your unconscious. And now it's like the universe is saying, you've got this ego, and it's the King of Cups, and Cups represents our emotions. Your ego self does not want you to touch your emotions. And in particular, does not want you to touch this feeling of unworthiness and heal this. It wants to keep you up in your head. It doesn't want you to take time out for yourself at all. But you've got to work with that. You have to work with your ego self. You have to recognize that you have a part of you that is absolutely terrified of you going in your body and feeling some of those emotions, and might even get in touch with your intuition and find out your truth. And so what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to leave you your 2025 reading that I did for you, but I'm also going to leave you with a shame playlist. And that has videos on shame. It also has videos on journaling and how you can journal. Maybe journal to your inner child. I do that all the time. How you can journal from your feelings of I feel like shit, I feel like crap, I don't matter. And I teach you how to journal. I have videos on journaling as well in that playlist. So I want you to have compassion for yourself, Virgo, for what you're working through. The healing journey is the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye.